preliminary investigation. On the 16th of January, at 16:58 in the afternoon of that day, a particular employee of the South African Police Services went into the criminal record system and made some adjustments to the benefit of Mr. Stewart Scharnick. That's why Mr. Scharnick is so confident to say there'll be nothing on the system. Unfortunately, the particular employee didn't understand the full extent of auditing side of the back end of systems. And on the back end of systems, the transactions which he deleted reflects and remains on the back end of the system. Further, we would want to indicate there was some indication that you can apply for an expansion of a conviction, and such expansion, then you get an approval and it then can be taken off the system, which is correct. You can. But there are certain provisions and conditions in certain offenses, and the fine cannot exceed a certain amount of money. In his case, it was 150,000 rand as a fine. The threshold was 20,000 rand. So there's no way one would suggest that he could have obtained an expansion of these offenses from his criminal record. It's possible, yes, on some of the assault cases, which is older than 10 years and those type of things where there's the option of a fine and no imprisonment, but not on that instance where the fine is higher than 20,000 rand. So those are still there on the back end of the system, which we have discovered. And I want to indicate that the entire forensic side of the system investigation will now be continuing to bring that evidence forward and to hold that employee accountable. Now, of course, we're not sure whether the employee was prompted. So in the theft of motor vehicle, it took place where the complainant confirms in his A1 affidavit that his car was stolen from him. We have the details of who the investigating officer, as I said, it was centralized. This is one of those dockets, and it was pulled together with the other dockets. The next case was in Hillcrest. It was a carjacking. This case of carjacking, he was also charged for, and it forms part of the plea agreement that was signed at court. The next case that I will refer to is the case of theft of motor vehicle from Durban North. The following case is a case of carjacking, again at Chatsworth. The next one is a case of carjacking in Westville. We have another case of carjacking in Newlands East. We have a theft of motor vehicle in Townhill, a carjacking again in Sydenham, a carjacking in Pinetown, a theft of motor vehicle in Durban North, a theft of motor vehicle in Townhill, a carjacking in Malvern. Howick is a theft of motor vehicle. In Maryland is carjacking. In Bratton Beach, it's burglary residential. In Richards Bay, it's another case. I'm going to come back to that. I will specifically focus on the theft of motor vehicle and a carjacking. Again, another carjacking theft of motor vehicle and housebreaking in Mpangeni. Then another theft of motor vehicle in Hillcrest. And we have then another theft of motor vehicle in Maiden Wharf. I will come to the other cases in a short while. At a political level, we will uncover that during the course of the investigations. There's a lot we've uncovered that we didn't know about until Mr. Scharnick took to the media, which prompted us to defend the South African Police Service integrity. So we're uncovering that as we go along. I think there's a question that Darshan was about where is the employee from. I think I've answered that. The control measures I've discussed on the systems. Assurances that it will not repeat itself. Colleagues of the media have already said that when a syndicate, especially organized crime, wants to infiltrate, you will find some individual in the system, an employee somewhere, that will compromise himself. And we cannot control it to an extent to say it will never happen again. But there are systems to detect and to understand where it happens and how it happens. And when we do, we then investigate that. One of the things we are very, very hands-on, and we have what we call a investigation district optimization efficiency forum that we have established with the NPA, where we collectively look at the performance of both the courts as well as the investigations. It never existed prior to these years, this particular initiative that we have in place between the. That's why you find such a close relationship with the prosecution authority currently in KwaZulu-Natal.